The Foxglove King by Hannah Whitten. This is the Fairy Loot edition. Look at how gorgeous it is. For some reason, I have been on a gothic fantasy or dark fantasy kick, and this has been my most recent read. This is what you can expect: forced proximity, political intrigue, and necromancy magic. I enjoyed this one. I listened to the audiobook, which was really well done. I thought it had such an interesting magic system with the necromancy magic called Mortem and Spiritum, which is the opposite of that. I feel like a lot happened and never once did it feel like it was draggy, but by the end of it, I still wasn't sure where we were going with the story. I feel like we've barely scratched the surface on the overarching plotline of the story. I just have so much more questions after finishing it. In this story, we follow Lore, who is a poison runner. She works on the street and was taken in by two mothers who run drugs. But after a run goes wrong, she is taken by the Presque Moor and pretty much is forced to work with them. We do get a little bit of a love triangle in this with Lore, which I love that name, and Gabe, who is a part of the Presque Moor, and Bastian, who is our crown prince. I liked all of the characters, but I felt like we didn't get much growth from any of them. I think Bastian is my favorite character because he's the most charismatic. I think this book does a really good job with setting up the story, and I truly feel like we're only just beginning. With Lore never really being trained in using her powers, we only get to see a little bit of it. I wanted to see more, but I understand. It's necromancy magic, so you can't just be raising up the dead everywhere you go. I hope we get to see her use her magic more and also learn more about it, because really, like, we didn't get too much. This one really felt like the kids just made really big moves on a board where they don't even know what the game is. And all the adults are like, oh, you're going to find out. You're going to find out. You don't know. You're making a mistake. But no one actually ever comes out and tells them why and what it is that they're trying to do. And that was so frustrating to me. I just want to know. I thought we were going to find out at the end, but we don't. And we have to wait for the next book. This is my first Hannah Whitten book, and I don't feel any particular way about the writing. It was good. It wasn't amazing, but I also didn't hate it. I think this is technically an adult fantasy, but it feels very YA. I think it is YA appropriate. There is no spice, just some angst and making out. Our characters are in their mid-20s, but honestly, I feel like you could make them 17 and 18 and nothing would change. I think the Foxglove King would be really good for those who liked Belladonna, One Dark Window, The Luminaries, and other dark or gothic fantasy books. I ended up giving this 3.5 out of 5 stars.